Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm a Member of Parliament and Leader of the Opposition in the Parliament of Gibraltar. I think there are three thoughts that I would like to share with members. That is that it's quite obvious from those of us who attended the previous conference in London and this one, that there are two things that have happened in the intervening period. Certainly, those of us who are committed to stopping the increase in anti-Semitism are stronger than we were the last time, but at the same time, it appears that the forces of darkness have not been idle, and that therefore the threat has grown in the same period. And therefore, it would seem to me that the desirable objective should be to somehow have a barometer when we come back and report on what has been happening in between these conferences, of where we've gained ground and where we appear to have either stood still or in fact lost ground. I think another important element is that, as the distinguished representative from Italy mentioned, there is this correlation between the arguments of anti-capitalism, anti-Americanism, and anti-Semitism and anti-Israel, as if they were all facets of the same phenomenon. And given that we are in the middle of a global crisis where, when it started 18 months ago, 2 years ago, there were people saying what we are about to witness is the equivalent collapse of the capitalist system that we saw in the collapse of the centrally planned economies, and that we are not out of the goods, and that there are many of us who have serious questions as to whether any government anywhere has the answer to this problem. I think we need to see to what extent the lessons of the past are going to be reflected, or maybe being reflected already, in what we're going through in the economic turmoil. Because we must never forget how much the economic crisis of the 1930s had to do with the rise of Nazism and the rise of fascist right-wing philosophies, and the need for a scapegoat. And if there is the blame to be put on the failures of capitalism for the unemployment of 20 million in the European Union, and for the problems created by competition for jobs from migrants, then we need to see that whether this danger of that being translated into greater anti-Semitism, covered, given legitimacy by genuine concern of insecurity about the standard of living in Western Europe, for example, and possibly the same thing happening in the Americas, is something that we need to be building into our analysis of the problem and our answers to defeating it. Thank you.